So let's get straight into it, bro. Bellator 285. Tell us more about it.
Yeah, well, it was a great event. Obviously, it was a big one. Like, like Benson Henderson fighting Peter, Yoel Romero, and obviously Melvin Manhoff in retiring. Sorry. Obviously Pedro then getting a big win over Mads Burnell, myself getting a good win. Yeah, I mean, look, all the lads, like Kenny, Dara, Luca pulling off that mad submission. No, it was a deadly night, and it was such a good night for the gym. And of course, what was it, 8 wins, 1 loss? But I mean, the loss that Peter had, I think he had showed a great account of himself and the years of years of training and fighting that he's been doing to go up against such a high level guy. And yeah, it was brilliant. It was exactly how I expected. The first round, that blitzing style Peter was doing so well, and obviously just, I suppose, experience took over for Benson. But as far as the rest of the fights and how the event went for myself, yeah, it was brilliant, man. Yeah, it was great to be part. It's great to be part of it, main card again, and yeah, it turned out well for me anyway.
Yeah, see, it's this is why I love you, Ciaran, because I asked you how you felt about the event, and you being you brought in absolutely everyone else and spoke about their performances. Honestly, man, and it's a testament to how you are as a character, and this is why people love you, my man. What I really wanted to know was, with your fight, there was a bit of fucking, the guy pulled out last minute, and then you had a late replacement. I actually wanted to know how you felt about that, because obviously you were already in the mood, in the mind frame. Of course, if you're not training specifically for an opponent, it's not that big of a deal. But tell us how kind of, mentally, how that, did that derail you in any way, or what was the thought process in that moment?
Yeah, so to be honest, I didn't really have much time to think about that, because I found out on the 6 days before the Saturday, before I was just out here getting ready to go out with the dogs. And next day I just get a WhatsApp ping, and John, he's basically just, your opponent's out there. No reason why, I don't know why I didn't ask. We're looking for a replacement. And I was just like, look, I don't care who it is, as long as there's someone down the Friday for me, because you don't have to put in all these weeks in, and we found out with this 15 weeks out. So I mean, you're finding out with this so long, and you're just wanting to you're wanting to put your I suppose your training into on display, and obviously such a big event to be a part of. And talking about inactivity there, the last time I talked to you, I forget when that was, but like everybody wants to be active, and especially a week of a fight, you don't want to hear that news. But I didn't have much time to think about it. Went out with the dogs, and then within the half an hour I had a message, new opponent. I didn't even look at him. I was like, someone's willing to do it. I was like, Daddy, happy days. And John was like, right, we'll get an emotion. And then it was all ready to go, and fair play to the opponent. But obviously when I digested what was going on, and because I didn't actually know if the fight was going to go ahead, the actual opponent was taking it, or yourself, the way it goes in medicals and everything, flights and stuff, and getting everything sorted. But anyway, he was good to go. And I started looking into him then, and I'd YouTube, did the full works, Instagrams, and obviously you go onto people's Instagrams, it's all our best bits anyway. But I couldn't find much as far as fight wise and stuff. Done the full works, YouTube and everything else, and he had a lot of fights in Brazil, and he'd won fight in Brave, which my brother was able to find a 20-second highlight of, which he had lost that, but it was just a second highlight of him getting taken down, and he was getting bet, but what I did see that clip was when he was getting taken down, he was very springy. He was, he was getting to hit, the back was hitting the mat, and he was getting up right away. He was trying to stand up, and I did see he was wrapping the head a lot for the guillotine, and he was looking to sweep. And I did find one pro fight on YouTube, but it was like 2 minutes. I'm not sure. I think he got taken down, and he looked very straight jiu-jitsu, but that was a long time ago. But yeah, the Instagram bios will tell you he's a world champion Muay Thai and a brown belt in jiu-jitsu and the whole lot. And you obviously take that for what you take it. But anyway, it went into the fight, and he was a big lad. His punches were very strong. He was, even like when he was catching me in the glove, I could feel them. Like I was like, right, they're solid punches. How I explained them was like, they're like Artem Lobov punches, like they're like these. You have like different type of punches, like Conor, like could be like, you know, snappy and fast, so accurate, like, and just put you clean out. Whereas these ones were like kind of like he was throwing them at clubs, like he knew he'd weapons or something, you know, the way like Artem's punches like just cement blocks. And yeah, I took one in the glove in the first round, first minute or two, and next thing before I knew it, I was on the ground, and I was like, what the fuck? And just straight away, it's just instinct. It's pilot mode. You're just going through an emotion. And yeah, composed myself the first round, and yeah, like I felt good from there, and I was like, look, relax, you know, just staying composed, just really going through the motions. And obviously they come into the corner, and they're like, right, you know, forget about the first round, you know, let's get past this now. This is your fight now, you know, this is a Ciaran Clarke fight. It's second, third round. This is where you're going to take over. And come out the second round, he was throwing them jumping knees, and one of them caught me off balance. It kind of clipped me a little bit, but he started smiling then, and I think he thought he hurt me, and I was smiling. I was like, no, you didn't catch me there. And then he went for it again, and I was like, no. So it was a bit kind of, it was funny in there. I was like, catch you there, you know. And then I shot in, and he sprawled me out. And then I knew he was good at the guillotine. I seen he wraps the head up, he goes to the anaconda. So I was kind of, that'd be kind of good. Obviously, I was coming up onto the single leg. You know, I was aware he could wrap up the head here, try. And yeah, so it was smart. It was smart the way I fought in there. I just took my time, and I knew it's a long 15 minutes. And regardless coming in short notice or not, I always know I put a pace in for lads, and I'm always the one that's coming out the other side of it. Then, you know, feeling fresh, and yeah. Then second round, I kind of turned around a little bit. Yeah, we stood up. He went to throw a jumping knee. As he went to throw a jumping knee, I just threw a jab, and he fell over then. And then I got on top, and yeah, just kind of walking away from there. And then I felt good. Then third round, I kind of, when we stood up off the stool, John was like, right, this is the Ciaran Clarke fight now, show him.
We're so used to it at this stage, Ciaran. Do you know what I mean? We're just used to it. Like, third round comes in, it's like, yeah, he's gonna do it now.
Yeah. So John was like, look, let's do this now. This is your round. Come on. And I was like, right. And I just took a look over him, a glance over at him, and I was like, yeah, I have this. I could feel. Fighters know when they're sparring, when you're training so long, and in fights, there's a it's undescribable energy both of us are going through, and you feel, and you know when someone's game ball, you know when you feel their energy, they're in there to win, and they know they can win. And enemy shot in, got to the fence, hiked the leg up high, went off balance and kicked the leg out, caught the ankle. And it was that moment when I picked the ankle, he could have stood up, and I literally nearly went to the third sequence, and he didn't try to stand up. And that's when I knew. I was like, right, that was the mental battle won there. I was like, he's giving up here, he's accepting the takedown here, which you can't do. And then obviously then walked away, and then got the back the choke. So but yeah, it was unbelievable night as far as you know, the whole experience of it, the way everything went. Normally Bellator.
On that, that before we go, I always find, because you're always in wars, right? When you win, that emotion on your face, and you're just like, yeah. Tell me about that. What was that like? Because obviously it was a tough fight. Let's be honest. Like the guy was, you know, he looked a bit bigger than you, a bit bigger, just a bit more maybe than normal. But obviously it was a tough fight. So, you know, talking through that moment, you were on fucking walking through the cage, and you're just screaming like, what was that like?
It's a tough thing, man, because it's adrenaline. I don't know what it is. It's just your emotions take over, and I don't even know what I was saying. Like when I'm running and screaming, you know, the way when I'm watching it back, kind of cringe, like, what am I saying there, you know?
Yeah.
Remember, it's just emotion takes over, and you're jumping up in the cage, and you're just, you know, the whole arena's on their feet screaming, and you know, fucking, you know, John's coming in giving you hugs, your brother's there absolutely buzzing for you, and you know, Dave Roach it's just to experience all this with these type of people and the people that do matter to you, and then literally everybody that matters to me was in the crowd as well to support me. So it's an unbelievable feeling, to be honest. It's something that you can look back on forever. And look, we're not done yet. We're just getting started, which is kind of crazy. Like, you know, I'm literally only 6 now, going into my professional career, and that was my 30th fight there the other week. So I'm only getting started pro wise, but it feels like I'm doing it so long as well. But look, I'm just looking to get back into the gym, improve, and again, is like, not to put a dampener at it, like, it's absolutely not like that at all, but it's just that, in my opinion, that wouldn't reflect the training I put in for it. You know, it's like John's like, why can't you do that in the first round? You know what I mean? And I'm like, look, we joke about it, but like I suppose it doesn't reflect the training I had put in for it, you know. And look, I know what I'm capable of, and I know I need to work on. I'm fully aware of that. But look, I'll give myself some slack, and it's nothing to do with that. I'm not harsh on myself around like that. It's just I'm my own worst critic in that sense, and that's what keeps me, you know, I suppose that's what keeps you buzzing to get back to the gym and wanting to improve, and that's the whole cycle. You know, it's just constantly wanting to get better, you know, and want to improve in the performances and improve in the fights. And you know, I definitely am not one that I'm like, you know, praising myself. I literally watched that fight twice. I'm like, I'm just watching it, like, just, you know, to know what I need to, you know, look back on and to work on, because I know how I experienced it myself. I don't need to watch it back 10.
Of course. But it was a good fight, man, nonetheless, and congratulations. You know, it was one of them tests, and it was one of them awkward tests as well, because of everything that possibly could have went wrong before the fight did, and it ended up being a completely different opponent. You still, you know, people don't talk about the pressure, but like you said there, having all those people in the crowd, you don't want to disappoint them, you don't want to disappoint yourself, you don't want to disappoint your team. It's a big test of, you know, how you overcome these pressures. And my man, you killed it. Like, let's be honest, you know, like, I know you have to be critical because you're the athlete and you need to see where to improve, but from our point of view, I think it was one of those stories that, you know, it was like how everyone wanted it to end, but then you're like, will it end? How does it end? And then it ended. So, you know, fair play to that, man. And, you know, I don't want to keep too much focus on the fight, but I did want to get your thoughts about it because I thought it was a fantastic display. And to be honest, as a fan, you know, going to the Tree Arena, sometimes we love the quick finishes, but then you want to see that spirit of the, you know, the fight and Irish spirit that you see. And I mean, you were the perfect example on the night. You and many others on that card as well, bro. Tell me, the aftermath of it, what does Ciaran Clarke do for a bit of celebration after going to, you know, 3-round war almost, and then, you know, coming out to win, all those emotions? You have to do interviews, but then you also have to do the party. What did you do?
Look, it's always the same for me, especially the Dublin ones. I have a loyal sponsor that's with me from the start, Ep1 nightclub, and two lads that are very involved in the town. They run the business here in the town, and they're John and Gary, and they are always behind me and sponsor me since the start. So I always go back with the crowd that I bring up back to the Ep1 nightclub, and obviously we're getting back very late. We're watching Peter Queally fight till whatever time it is. So but we get back there and a bit of celebrations. But I wasn't not that I'd go mental anyway. I'm not able for anything like that. But we just did the usual. But for me, it's more about, just, to be honest, I'd rather the next day, you know, chilling out, get a bit of grub, or I won't say a bit of grub, but yeah, exactly. So I'm more of into the food, and I'm more of a simple fella, you know what I mean? I enjoy the smaller things, you know, to way. But
you're the dangerous one, the simple man, and the most dangerous man, you know, as they say.
That's it for me, really. Just I'd rather enjoy my food and literally just spend time with the likes of my girlfriend. And I literally feel when you're training for fights and stuff, you're not really yourself. It's constantly in the back of your mind, and you know, it is tough. It's tough. Like, it's always after, like, oh yeah, I'm buzzing to go again. And you're like, no, hold on. You need to decompress, and you need to, you know, get back to, you know, I suppose sea level, I suppose, you know, nearly that way. and then you'll ramp it up again when the next one comes, because you have to. It's like it's everybody's always using it. It's like a rally car, if you're constantly going 100,
You're like a
riding the
crash dummy. You do well, and then you just crash into a wall, and that's
exactly.
it. Yeah, no, look, and you're speaking like a true professional, my man. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's where these 30 fights show, because a lot of people don't understand, and I spoke to a few promoters regarding this. A lot of people don't understand that amateur MMA in Ireland, you might as well be a pro. It's like, do you know what I mean? The level of fighting, the involvement, everything else is it's like. You're pretty much a pro. Obviously not fighting, experienced pros, but these are all on the same level. So it's like you're an amateur, you fight, you're at the same level, and then a year later you turn pro and you fight pro again, and everyone's like, "Oh, they're fighting pro." It's like, well, I've already been through these motions. But taking it back to that, and I don't want to cut across you because I want to hear more from you and not from myself. In your trailer for the documentary, and it's something that we'll speak about as well. There's a short clip of you to kind of kick it off. Now, when you're taking yourself out of the situation you're in now, and you're looking back at that situation, you're looking back at, you're fighting in halls, you're fighting, at amateur level, didn't know what was going to happen, what you are going to, your trajectory as a pro. You're looking on YouTube, you have, all these small clips of you leading up. Now you're looking back on those things, and you go and Google your name, and you go on YouTube your name, and you're on the 6 o'clock show in the morning, you're on Ireland AM. How does that feel in terms of, mentally where you are right now? Do you feel like, were you prepared for all of this, or was this something that you probably never thought that, you'd get to this level? Obviously you do think that, but on the national level so quick in your career.
Yeah, no, it's definitely something that I've never expected, because all you really think about, me personally, it's all that to me is just, it's all kind of smoking that. It's great. It's, don't get me wrong, and I enjoy it, and it's great, like, to networking of people, and obviously then it kind of reflects what Bellator think of me, then to put me forward for these opportunities and stuff. So that's why I enjoy them. But as far as like being on the Lewis and doing these, live TV shows, and I never expected all that. Like, and how do you prepare for all that? Like, I mean, it's all you're thinking about is getting to the heights of where you think in your mind you can be, and as a fighter, and really, like, as of late, I'm just really thinking of fight to fight, because that's the only way you can really take this a pro. I really think, because I think a lot of lads, they think about the end goal too much, or getting here, getting there, Bellator, UFC, this, being a champion here or whatever, and they have in their Instagram bios, they're going to be world champion at this stage, and 2025, they're going to be world. I don't know. It's just, for me, that's not me. It never worked for me looking into the future like that, or hoping. At the end of the day, your future relies on now, and that's the way I look at it. I'll future by working hard now, or and that's really it. So it's hard to prepare for anything like that. That's not within the sport, if that makes sense. So it's been a matter of, again, as I said, I enjoy it, and so look, I suppose it just comes with it at this stage.
That's it, man. And if anything, it brings a strong, it brings a strong fan base. And not just that, but I always feel that when things like that happen, it's a testament and recognition for your work. And a lot of people don't necessarily get that. You have people that fight abroad and people don't really know. You have people that are on good streaks, but because, they're not in the spotlight, the people that should be getting behind them aren't necessarily behind them. But it's nice to see that for you, and the way this connection with Bellator worked, it puts the spotlight on you guys, and it shows. I read an article and they said, MMA is coming back to life from the McGregor era, but realistically it's always been there, mate. It just hasn't been as emphasized as it was. But look, again, I'm not gonna lie, I think it's hilarious the way you go and you do all these interviews with us, and then you turn on the TV in the morning and say, there's Ciaran. On this over there chatting to the boys and the lady, of course.
I know, it's got. I had it was actually a tweet. It's me drive. It was me driving instructor, but I know, man, like, he's obviously from He tweeted, he said, because I'm driving a van at the minute, you know,
Right.
and he said, he seen me that day, I done the interview, and on the telly, and he tweeted, in the van in the morning, in the telly in the evening, fair play. Something like that, you know, but it was just kind of like when you put it in perspective, it was gas, like I was laughing. Like,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. No, but once again, look, I've nothing but praise, and I do like I said, you're handling it well, man. You're going in, and I love the way you've had this specific mind frame and this plan of how you're going to represent yourself, and that hasn't changed for a lot of people. It does change. I'm not just saying this because you're talking to me. We know who these people are, whether they're national, international, whatever, and it's good to see. And I think that's why people relate to you so much, my man. And talking about relating so much, you are now going to be the main actor in your own production, a manifest production, I should say. Tell us how that came about. And as far as I know, this has been happening for quite a few months now, and there's going to be a premiere as well. Give us a bit more details on that.
Yeah, so I done a video last November. Basically, a fella called Jamie Sherry. He's a fellow loud man. He's from Dundalk there, but he worked in Drogheda. Worked with me auntie. And basically after one of my fights, it was the Jordan Barton fight in November. Basically, you know, there's a buzz about, and you know, the workplace in Drogheda, everybody was talking about the fight.
Yeah.
A lot of people went, but you know, everybody was buzzing, and he was mad at he's mad at the MMA, and he was like, oh, who was fighting or whatever, and blah blah blah. Anyway, he found out who I was, and blah blah blah. And he obviously does all the videos, and he's doing really well with all that. And then he just reached out to me and said, look, I'd love to do a piece on you. And you know, he was saying everybody in Drogheda speaks so highly of you, and blah blah blah. And I was like, oh, deadly. I was buzzing. And anyway, he said, yeah, we'll do this video. So done the video of me, very short clip, 2 minutes, and come here, it was just turned out unbelievable. I was chuffed with it. And it's been on the Instagram there, the first one, but buzzing with that. And then a few months later, he was flying with his jobs and you know, doing all other sorts of things. And he had kind of touched it before. He'd love to like do maybe, you know, vlogs or on you know, he'd love to even he loves all the embedded style videos and stuff. And,
yeah. That's the ones that bring fans closer to the fighters. Like, see, when we're doing promos, especially for myself, I love doing promos, but that just kind of focuses on the fight, the event, and then it's just kind of like what happens after. Hence why we do the interviews. But yeah, no, what he's doing, he's a very creative guy, man. These guys with like the stuff you're able to do now with a phone, a drone, and maybe a little camera, it's unbelievable, isn't it?
It's unreal. And yeah, as you mentioned, like, I mean, that's all the stuff people want to see. And so he was like, look, I'm thinking of doing a documentary on you. And like, he was saying, look, I think it's a great story to tell through you, and I want to do it, and I think we should you know. So that kind of started from that. And then I was like, no way, class, man. I was like, brilliant. And so we kind of started filming, and then we started kind of chatting, and kind of went from there. And we were like, look, how are we going to do this? About, you know, releasing it and everything else. And we started just kind of bouncing off each other. And I said, look, well, I think, you know, the two of us kind of agreed, and I think it'd be great to do this for charity. And we obviously, there's so many different charities locally, and Dundalk, Drogheda, Dublin, you know, Tipperary, no matter where you are, there's. But I said, look, we'll do something that could relate to the whole country, in the sense that obviously mental health. So we chose the charity in town here, South Ireland, and yeah, there's so many places across the country that they're doing great things. I've done things for them before, and it's obviously it's for mental health. It's what actually means is Save Our Sons and Daughters Ireland. So yeah, we decided to think mental health would you know, relate to a lot of people, all, you know, not just in Drogheda or Dundalk or anywhere. So we thought it'd be great to do that. So got in touch with them. I did a charity run for them, and we were chatting away to them, and said, yeah, brilliant. And we were just getting on the ball, and we think, look, we could do a premiere night that people pay the tickets, you know, pay tickets to come in and watch the whatever it is, an hour or whatever it is long. And yeah, then, you know, all the money. And then we were thinking about doing as well on YouTube for people that can't go or don't want to go or whatever, that want to watch it on YouTube, say 9 o'clock, whatever date.
You do an official premiere, just the way you'd be dropping.
Exactly. So they pay money, and so things like that. And so we were like daily buzzing, and so we got the ball rolling, and actually we got it sorted for the Barbican Centre in Drogheda. And I was actually just at some event and I was chatting away, and I ended up chatting to the former mayor of Drogheda, Declan Power, and he's actually the manager down below, so he was well on for it, and everything just kind of really fell into place, and then obviously all the filming's done now basically, and it's up to Jamie Sherry that's with Manifest Media. It's all up to him now to do the editing and the whole lot, and I'm just delighted for him, man, and I think it's going to turn out class. I'm just chuffed that somebody like himself was willing to put all the time into me and to tell this story, and then at the back end of it, it's for charity. You know, I think it's brilliant, man. So I'm really looking forward to that.
I'm looking forward to it as well. I'm going to come to the premiere. I was actually talking to your friend that did it for Manifest Media, and Jamie said,
Yes.
So he mentioned that it's going to be for charity. So it's going to be, if I'm not mistaken, what is it, the 9th of December, and it's going to be in the Barbican Centre. You said Barbican Centre in Drogheda, yeah?
Yeah, that's right. But to be honest, the people in the MMA community, I suppose, would know the Barbican, because Cage Legacy was held there before. I fought there before, so it's kind of people that don't know the, like, you know.
And in terms of tickets and all of that, it's going to be, all of that information is going to be released closer to the date, right?
Exactly.
Perfect. Good to hear, my man. Hopefully I see you there. That's unbelievable. See things like this again, man. Fair play to you, credit to you. Once again, you decided to take something that's focused on you, and with that, give a platform for other charities, for other organizations, and anything else to help others, man. Congratulations and fair play to you. I hope it really does well on the night and after the night. And you know, it's always nice to be able to donate a bit of your success to those in need, those more in need than ourselves. Because mental health is a bitch, isn't it? Especially for men.
Oh, look, yeah, big time. And I think it's as I said, we can all relate to. We all go through tough times, or whether or lost someone through that, you know. So I think it's brilliant. And for me to give back to the town, and just to give back to people that support me, I think it's important, you know.
Definitely, man. Definitely. And look, like I said, wishing nothing but the best for the man. I think it's a great idea, and hopefully, like I said, it's as big as a success as you think it will be. Now, just going back, obviously Bellator on the night announced the February card. I'm sure we'll probably see the familiar faces. What's your plans now for the rest of the year? And you know, is February a possibility for you? Return, maybe get higher up that card, and you know, start making a bit more mess in them Bellator rankings and everything else.
Yeah, no, I think it's probably a start at this stage when you mentioned Dublin, I'll be on it. So no, I'm just again just delighted to be having these Dublin shows every year, and it's definitely the goal then, hopefully maybe between the, you know, summertime or something like that, after between the two Dublin shows, to fight abroad, where it be another place in Europe, or who knows, maybe get over to the States at some stage. So that's definitely the goal. But yeah, Dublin's coming up. I'm gonna go have a chat with John, and see the stories. At the minute now, I'm just kind of nursing one or two injuries that I had gone into the fight, so I'm just I'm kind of getting over them at this stage, and I'm finding the ins and outs about them, and but no, we're all good. We should be right as rain for February, and you know, so I'm really looking forward to that one now.
Cool. So you have a bit of time now to mend all the wounds, all the war wounds now before Christmas, and you'll have a nice quiet Christmas now as well, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, just it's just really, it's mad. It's all go, really. You know, you don't really much time to think. If as soon as you get that announced, the next one,
of course,
it's on your mind.
Training for 15 weeks, so
exactly.
Yeah. It's nice to take some time off. Well, brother, look, I've got all I wanted. If you want to say anything, if you want to take this time to kind of thank everyone for the last fight, or if you want to, you know, do a bit of promo for that documentary, by all means, bro, the floor is yours.
Yeah, thanks a million to yourself, Raz, for having me on again. Yeah, just thanks to all my sponsors. They know who they are, for getting behind me every time. All my family and friends for coming to the last one. Appreciate actually giving me this time, because you know yourself, you have all these interviews. It's all go, and I don't really get the time to thank everybody. Yeah, but just thanks very much to everybody, of course, for supporting me and going forward. It's me coach John for all these opportunities. You know, Dave Roach, my brother Darrell there in the corner as well. Everybody, be careful, Lauren, all the tickets, you know, all the people you see coming up to this, the tickets are, she's the one behind it all.
She's the boss lady. She makes everything work, yeah.
And then obviously support from all my family, my mum and everybody else here at home. And just everyone. And then yeah, obviously more details in the documentary to follow. 9th of December, it's going to be for Southside Ireland, a charity here in the town. And yeah, it's going to be premiere night on the night, and then there'll be a YouTube link that everybody can follow. So yeah, again, thanks very much, everyone.